Hello everyone! Each of us has some funny stories from childhood, but they all pale in comparison with the antics of the kids from today's video. On the one hand, one can only feel sorry for their parents. On the other, they probably had the best laugh in their lives. By the way, if you have a funny story from your life, share it in the comments. Let's get it on! Kids' haircuts. Every parent knows it's necessary to keep dangerous items like lighters or medicine away from children. It looks like hair clippers should also be added to this list. This kid saw his father shaving and wanted to do the same, but practicing on smooth skin isn't fun, right? So the kid decided to practice on his eyebrows. Apparently, now he will have to get rid of the second one for symmetry. And this little boy decided to do without a hairdresser and trim his hair by himself, but went a bit overboard. Look, he's trying to glue his hair back. Poor kid, it doesn't work like that. Your parents will know for sure that he ruined your haircut. Well, he actually stopped before it was too late, unlike these fellows who turned themselves into Ted from Scrubs. They clearly wanted to become adults as soon as possible. Well, now their age is somewhere between 7 and 40. Kids and cement. We know cats and dogs love to walk on concrete that is not yet hardened, but it turns out that children also find it funny. Just look at this kid. It was clearly not easy for him to move his legs almost knee-deep in the cement, but he still made it to the end. The reaction of the mother, who will have to wash him, is priceless. It's a pity that the father's face did not get on camera. After all, he's the one who will have to fix the mess. Although he was more fortunate than the builders who made the floor in the basement of this house in Tennessee. When they decided to take a final look at the completed work, they found a long track of children's footprints. At the end of it stood this smiling 2-year-old kid. The girl heard the voices of her parents, sneaked away from her grandmother, and went downstairs. Well, she's obviously happier than the workers. By the way, the basement was supposed to become a playroom. How can you think of a better game than walking on a vicious slurry? Kids and food. If you do not keep an eye on the children, they can make a mess even from ordinary food. What do you think is this creepy substance in a measuring cup? It's waffle syrup. A little girl decided to try on the roll of the cook and put it in the microwave for 5 minutes, where it was heated until it reached plasma state. Or here's another example. Next time you accidentally spill too much sauce on your plate, just remember this photo. Honestly, it's hard to imagine how this kid intended to eat ketchup, pouring it on top of his head.
That looks good.
However, in the end, he found the way. Turns out you can just lick it off the lid. Well, you can understand this kid because you have to admit, dry Nesquik is great, but why not take a spoon and enjoy it calmly? Perhaps the boy was in a rush to eat as much as possible before his parents notice, or he was just trying to recreate a famous scene from the movie Scarface. Purple kid. Letting kids close to paint is a classic recipe for chaos, and we have some great examples for you. This father came home from work to discover his son's sister decided to use all the purple paint on him. We have to admit, she did a great job. This looks like an inspiration for a new X-Men character. These kids were less fortunate. They wanted to make each other gorgeous tattoos using a permanent marker, but they did not have enough talent for that. The first kid is not too worried, probably because the orange-black stripes are similar to the tiger colors. But the second one, as you can see, is not very happy with the result. But just a couple of permanent markers are enough for a good budget cosplay. At least, that's what this kid thinks. He's certain he looks exactly like Darth Maul. Let's not tell him. And now, attention everyone who hates when there's a mess in their house. The following footage may cause you physical pain. Yes, this is a vibrant green paint on a leather sofa. Little Shreks have no idea what they've done, but there are even worse situations. The mother found her child crawling in a puddle of white paint, which literally covered the entire house. Seems that someone will become a performance artist in the future. Alphabet. You must admit that learning the alphabet by heart is the first serious achievement for any kid. Remember how you felt? It was a great event. You had to tell complete strangers about it, you had to repeat the alphabet aloud 1,000 times a day, and it seemed like a great idea to write the letters on the headrest of your father's car. If we were the parents, we would not clean the upholstery just yet. The letters D and Y are far from perfect, so a few more spelling lessons won't hurt. Purchases. They say that it's necessary to explain to little children where the money comes from. Otherwise, stories like these can happen. See this face glowing with happiness? This is what a child looks like when a courier just delivered him $350 worth of toys. 6-year-old Caitlin from Utah logged into her mom's Amazon account and ordered everything she had dreamed of. However, the parents of the little shopaholic did the right thing. They did not punish the girl and allowed her to leave one doll, and Caitlin donated the rest of the toys to the local children's hospital. It's a good idea to set a strong password on a smartphone, even if your child is very small. This kid, for example, managed to order a $94 pizza through the app. Of course, he will eat one slice tops, but the rest of the pizza will be useful too. You know that children can use it as a weapon? 14-month-old Sorella did not waste time on trifles. When she got access to her father's phone, she immediately ordered a car. Seriously, the baby somehow won an eBay auction and bought a 1962 Austin Healey Sprite for $225. It was a tricky move. The parents planned to restore the car and give it to the girl on her 16th birthday. But not all kids know how to manage money in a smart way. 2-year-old Leo couldn't find anything better to do than shoving an envelope with $1,060 into a shredder. The guy sometimes helped his father shred unnecessary papers and decided that green bills also need to go.
You can't say we just laughed.
A few tears.
Now you understand why you need to teach children the basics of economics. Locked gadget. We keep saying that today's kids are more tech-savvy than adults. It looks like we've slightly overestimated them. The 3-year-old son of New Yorker journalist Evan Osnos was about to play his father's iPad, but did not know the password. The little hacker tried to guess the right combination for a long time, but in the end, he gave up. This little maneuver blocked the device for 25,536,442 minutes. Twitter users shared screenshots of their locked gadgets with Evan, but his son set an absolute record. Maybe he should leave him an iPad so he could play it 49 years later. Staying alert. Now you will see what happens if you forget the main rule of walking with a toddler. Always stay cautious. An outdoor surveillance camera captured how the little rascal was doing mischief while the nanny was busy checking messages on the phone. The kid took her to one of the houses where he kept his secret weapons. We should give the credit to the little prankster. Before shooting, he warned the nanny. It's not his fault she ignored his warning. Experiment on a cat. In each story we told you today, we feel sorry for the parents of restless kids. But what about pets? Poor animals often have to put up with children's antics too. For example, this girl made a phone out of cups and, of course, decided to test it on an unfortunate cat, singing loudly in her ear. What does the cat think about this? Just look at the expression on her face and everything will become clear. Apparently, this is not the first song for today, and it seems like the animal has obviously already gone through a lot. Parking done right. Raise your hands, those who already drive and know what it's like to circle the parking lot for half an hour looking for a free spot. Oh, you will definitely understand all the pain and resentment this driver experienced. A real miracle happened. In a crowded ground parking lot, he noticed an unoccupied place. Well, it only seemed so at first glance. In fact, this important fellow had already left his bike there. Can you imagine the reaction of a driver? We hope the guys managed to settle the dispute peacefully. Mom's toothbrush. If you still do not understand what things you should keep away from kids, we'll remind you everything. It's recommended to put everything in the house, including the house itself, in a protective case, or be prepared for consequences. We'll explain why. This 3-year-old child is cleaning his pot with his mom's toothbrush. It's good that she noticed it in time. And yes, if we were there, we would not dare ask the kid if he's doing this for the first time. Girl things. While guys usually don't go further than painting themselves from head to toe with markers, girls have much more freedom for creativity. They can do amazing hairstyles and apply makeup. This little girl thought she would look irresistible with the huge pink slime in her hair. Looks like Krang from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And now she'll have to live with short hair for a while. As for the makeup, when there is no mother's lipstick at hand, you have to improvise. Here is a kid who was suspiciously quiet in the car and was caught red-handed. She smeared her face with diaper rash cream. By the way, it's quite popular with kids. This cutie also applied a generous layer on her face. Having kids is tough, but fun, don't you agree? Wrong bath. Many of us will one day become parents, so here's another important rule for the future. If the baby's going to do something on his own, it's better to check on him. Otherwise, you can witness the following scene. The girl told her mother that she was going to take a bath, but as you can see, she slightly mixed up the tanks. Well, now she will definitely have to take a bath. It's difficult to say whether adults laughed or cried when they saw that. We think it was laughter through tears. Hold on a second. Do you want to see some crazy stories from real life? Nothing dull, only action. Only adventures, chases and fights, love confessions and sudden betrayals. Don't believe us? Follow the link and see for yourselves. Our animation channel Private Diary reveals the deepest secrets. Don't forget to subscribe.